And I'm pretty damn sure we'd have to have an explanation for where he came from. Double God made him? Oh, Double God did it. Yeah. And who made Double God? Oh, Triple God. Triple God made Double God. Oh, who made Triple God? Oh, Quadruple God made Triple God. I mean, where, it doesn't go anywhere. What, God evolved? God evolved, and then God created evolution. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
I don't think God realized that he was God.
Oh, so he was around forever. So forever he was, I don't know, I'm God. I'm just sitting here forever, eternity, and one day, he just like, oh, wait, what am I doing? I've just been sitting here for an eternity. What the fuck thought I am? No, I'll poke the little earth and make it all green and shit and have the crap eat each other. Yeah, it'd be really cool to watch. I love to watch when the guts, like the guts actually push out of something's mouth and you can see their colon fly out of their mouth. Oh, I love that part. Like when this frog gets squished by the alligator and the guts fly out of its mouth. Oh, it's so fucking kick-ass. And so that's what God's doing, right? Oh, please. And it took him eternity. It took him an eternity to come up with malaria. Oh, yeah, syphilis. It'll be really cool. This little worm, it'll be really teeny tiny little worm. And it'll squirm around and it'll eat people's eyeballs. Oh, it'll be fucking cool. Oh, man, I can't wait. It's only going to take like 4 billion years for it to evolve. Ugh. Yeah, right.
I look at things like what are the odds of us being on a planet called Earth? Of all the places.
Hey, Devin. Let's not forget that God played his dinosaur games for tens of millions of years. What was it, like 200 million years? He played his dinosaur games, and he sat with folded hands and said, oh yeah, this looks like a good game to me. Fucking velociraptors tearing the shit out of brontosauri. And he sat back and watched that for tens of millions. I see you shaking your head. I don't know why. He sat back and watched that. What the fuck do you think he was thinking in all that time? Over to you.
Well, he's not thinking. He was like Dr. Frankenstein. Like, he had this real cool ability to do really hard science, but he didn't have any idea what the fuck he was doing. He was like, holy shit, I just mixed all these chemicals together and I made Earth.
Oh my gosh, pussy on cam,
like
pussy on cam.
Accident. Like he farted it or something, So he's just making an excuse for somehow God being disconnected from his creation and just kind of, oh yeah, whatever, yeah, I did that when I was drunk. I mean, it's just, there's no point. You don't need to make excuses for this shit. It's just a piece of chemistry. Yes, one fucking cell was created one time. It only happened one fucking time on Earth. It might only happen one fucking time in the entire history of the entire multiverse. Alright, where you have a piece of chemistry. Just think about it. A piece of chemistry. Just little fucking atoms stuck to each other. And it reproduced. And the copy it made was so good, the copy reproduced. That the reproduction mechanism was actually built into it. And so, yeah, it only happened one fucking time as far as we know. But that's all it's built on. It's just built on one fucking molecule that reproduced itself.
Yeah, I think it's an evolution of consciousness.
Yeah, well, whatever. You think a fucking bacteria is conscious. Well, no, it's not.
No, I'm saying they elevate until we're not bacteria, Maybe we started off as bacteria, but I think we've grown and evolved and elevated beyond that.
Yeah, and we know how our intelligence evolved also, so you can just make up stories, but we know where it came from. Alright, I mean, the first reflex was basically just an organism that has a mouth at one end and an anus at the other end. And so, if it, because it was an advantage to keep that mic off, fucker. For it to be able to escape a predator, it found out, oh, you know what? If I excrete my waste all at once in an explosive bang, basically if I fart, I can fart my way away from the predator. Okay? And so the little mechanism, the little machine ended up having a brain because it was an advantage. It could fart its way away from other stuff. And that's where our brain came from. Okay? It's just a reflex. Our brain is just a ton of little reflexes. Every word is a reflex. Every sensation is a reflex. It's just stuff goes in, it bounces off a couple of things and flies back out in terms of action and behavior. But it's just a reflex. We're just farting at each other. Can't hear you.
Like a little ant would think of us as a god, or like people back in the day would consider us to be gods, speaking to people across the fucking whole world.
Yeah, ignorance. Wrong conclusions. All right, we're not ignorant anymore. So that's just stupid, okay? A little ant that was informed about how the world works and had a telescope and a spaceship, they wouldn't have a problem figuring it out. Their size isn't going to stop them from being able to add 2 and 2 and 4 plus 4 and do all that kind of stuff. Size doesn't matter. Ignorance matters. We're not ignorant anymore, so we're not going to jump to some stupid conclusion anymore. You can't fool us.
Actually, I think we're quite ignorant. Sorry, Gary, I have to disagree with you on that point.
Well, I don't know what you mean by we. Maybe you're quite ignorant, but no, I think we know a lot of shit about how the mechanics got here. Mystery solved. Ah, Nutella. There she is. Yay! Yeah, that was nice, Ryan. Good. Good little wave. That's good. Very polite.
Well,
I think of things like, say if you think of a caveman, and they would think of people being in space as being...
Well, again, you're talking about example about, well, if Albert Einstein had his brain and his knowledge and his understanding, but he lived 700 years ago, he would believe lightning was Thor's farts. No, he wouldn't, because he'd be Einstein and he would know that that's the physics, and he'd understand what the fuck the sound waves, and he'd understand the mechanism. So you're not going to fool him anymore. And it's just bullshit. So keep making comparisons from relative positions of ignorance, and fine, you can make your argument forever. Yes, the retards will draw stupid conclusions. So whether you put the retard back in the dinosaur age or you put the retard back only 500 years ago, it's not really going to matter. If he's a retard, he's going to get it wrong. We're not retarded. I mean, what magical information do we lack? Like I said, we have every piece of the puzzle that we need to know exactly what this thing looks like. Right? You put these pieces together and you can see the outline of the steaming pile of shit. Okay? You can see it. It can't, even if it's missing 10 or 20% of the pieces, you know what this is. And there's nothing else to make it out of. We see what we are. We're just fucking... Our brain is just a tool like a shark's tooth. It gave us a survival advantage. We have been constructed over billions of years to be horny and desirous and hungry and wanting and needing. We have repulsive and attractive feelings, sensations, and we're completely controlled by them. So what's so fucking complicated? We're just consuming and reproducing machines, living on planet cannibalism, And that's the end. That's it. There's nothing. There's no good news here.
Well, Gary, for the most part, I agree with you. This is a cannibalistic planet. I'm just looking for points to philosophically disagree, because if we don't have points of disagreement, there's no philosophy. You got to have a little banter back and forth. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I disagree with you. Excuse me. I agree with you. Sorry about that.
Oh, you were devil advocating your devil advocacy. The double devil advocate. Yeah, that's just what we need. No, we don't have enough pain in the asses. We need a double devil advocate. But whatever. Yeah, I sort of understand your point, but yeah, who needs the conflict? Who needs the argument? I really don't like it. It's no fun. I think it's already been done. I've made the 4,683 videos. My job here is done. It's time for me to have the white-haired girl and go right off into the sunset and fly over the edge of the cliff. I mean, it's just, it's just over.
I wish you were a senator, man. It would be sad you watching in the Senate.
Yeah, I wish you had a microphone that worked. But whatever. There's it. I don't do Klingon, sorry.
I was saying that I wish that you would be a senator. I would find that amusing.
I'd rather be president, world supreme dictator and such. And so I love that. I love to have a title like that. World dictator and such, and so forth.
Hey, what do you think of the whole oil spill thing?
Oh, I thought it was really cool. It's all gooey and slippery. Ooh, I like to smear it on the dead animals and fuck them. Ooh, yes. Ooh, it's good. It's just such a dumb question. I mean, really, come on. Well, what'd you think about that earthquake and all them people dying and such? Yeah, I just don't think we should let capitalists, drill 800-mile holes in the ground. That's probably not a good idea. We shouldn't let the capitalists do the nuclear thing, and we probably shouldn't let the capitalists do the deep ocean drilling thing. The boob squishing thing either.
Well, it seems to me it seems to me that capitalism and communism are really the ugly twin sisters. You look on the Simpsons, whoever those ugly twin sisters are, that's the ugly twin sisters of capitalism and communism. There is no advantage to either one. Both end up in the same. Sorry.
Well, let's be clear though. The communism doesn't even have a definition. So communism is a dead word, in my opinion. We shouldn't even use it because it doesn't mean anything. What are you talking about? Oh, Russian corruptorism? I mean, people still calling the Chinese communists, and they got more millionaires in China than they got in the United States. So what sense does it make? What's the sense of talking about communism when it doesn't have any fucking definition?
Definitely does have a definition. Whether people are just too stupid or unread to have checked on what it actually means is something different. I know what you mean, though, as it relates to discourse, because if you say communism, unless you clarify whether it's real communism or corrupt communism, i.e. China, Cuba, Russia, no one knows what the fuck you're talking about. So I'll give you that in discourse it's confusing, worded, but it does have a real definition so long as you're willing to go back to the source.
Yeah, well, that's the trick, though. I mean, if you go back far enough, it just ends up being some sort of collectivism, and that's the, it doesn't really have if you go back far enough to get a clear definition.